And we're back. I think so. Yes, we are back. Hey, everybody. So if you're joining us, having skipped the character creation, we are... I'll explain the character very, 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 very briefly once we've begun, but we have officially started Pillars of Eternity. Caravan Master Oldman. So this game has a fair bit of voice acting, but there's also a ton of reading, so I'm going to be reading a lot! A lot. It's going to be a relatively shorter opening episode because that character creation episode was fucking long, but at any rate. The Caravan Master finishes addressing the group. His bushy red mustache and swinging jowls quiver as if for emphasis. So fair warning before I click the continue button, I'm going to try and read as much of the dialogue as I can, but there are bits where there are sort of like stage direction-y bits that go along with voice dialogue to kind of tell you what the character is doing in an individual scene. Very similar to a roleplay. So I'm not going to be able to necessarily read that stuff, so because it would interrupt the people talking, so try to pay attention to it's not necessary, but if you're following along watching and not just listening to this or watching in the background, you can read the stage directions yourselves, and I'll just read them for the parts where there's no dialogue at all. The voice actors do a pretty good job of conveying what the stage directions were kind of pointing at anyway.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks.
If you followed along for the character creation episode, you'll be less lost by a lot of the dialogue here, but fair warning, this game is pretty dense and does not explain a lot initially. So yeah, as I said before, give it a little time. You'll actually kind of get into the swing of things, even if you didn't watch the initial episode where we went over a shitload of lore. It all explains itself relatively easily.
Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the Caravan Master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over. And for those of you who either did follow from the beginning or didn't, but kind of forgot about what was happening, we are in a caravan, and, the main character, April, the paladin, got sick, got very, very sick, and, the caravan pulled over partly so that we could be tended to.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle around here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards, unless you don't drink water, course, which case you'll be dead in a day.
Very, very reassuring.
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Okay, I'll read the stage directions for that bit. So before he said that, Oldman looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Spearful, who carries an old sun-bleached bow. So he says that and then nods in your direction. Spearful nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder. Where would I find the berries? Where are those ruins? Is it dangerous out here? Where are the huge rocks coming up from the ground? Leave. I'll go see about the berries then. I'm probably not going to read all the options to you guys, especially with ones where I'm going to just kind of go through my way, but from here on out, I'll try and read this as though I'm, actually role-playing with the game. So, where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common around here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are those ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
He adds with a wink, so I hear. The character, so a little pop-up here, I'm going to quickly look at this. Your character's attributes, skills, class, race, blah, 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 blah. Your character's attributes, skills, class, race, culture, and sex may all open up options for you in dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to the other responses, but give you a wider variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on their individual personality and attitude. Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
There is concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. Half a moment. Stupid old boiler is very loud. Apologies. What kind of weather do you get out here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beawick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
What are these huge rocks coming up from out of the ground?
They don't got Audra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
I'll go see about those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at a length on a sturdy armor-clad... resting his eyes at length on a sturdy armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without a blanket or a pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time. She needs to find some spring berries. Watch that she doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Thank you, Alderman.
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
So yeah, he chuckles at that as well, and he looks at you. Don't listen to her, blah, blah. He casts a sidelong glance at her, and I pay well enough for
Off
anything.
with you. Aiden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
All right,
Right,
welcome.
man. Let's get going before you keel over.
No problem.
All right, welcome to Village of Eternity. This is your first visit to the world, blah, blah, blah. You may want to watch these windows to become familiar with the tools, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to ignore those. All right, let's click on blah, 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 blah. I should probably actually just turn off the tutorials because I've already played at least the beginning of this game before, but I'll let you know when I've reached the point when I am no longer in the thing. So, first things first, I'm going to save my game, because oh, the autosave feature in this game is actually really strong. Doesn't matter. Duhad! What? Boom! Okay, so, real fast for people who didn't watch the tutorial, the character creation video, I won't go over a lot because I'm hoping a lot of you did. At least the ones who are going to stick with the series. But, at any rate, this is April. She is a godlike paladin, as in she was born of an elf woman, but came out with these bizarre, with these bizarre traits that make her kind of appear like the goddess of nature. She is incapable of bearing children due to the fact that she is a godlike. She is a paladin of the Order of the Wayward Kin, which means that she believes that she is from an order that has very little in the way of structure, but believes strongly in talking with in protecting and helping other people. They believe in benevolence and passion, but dislike
Anyone
cruelty.
need supplies?
Other things like that.
I've got sundries for sale.
So we'll talk to this guy. You see a man wearing a simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Got a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
I'm going to turn up the volume on speech in a bit so that you guys can hopefully more easily hear the dialogue when it's actually voiced. Might as well try. With an outlook like that, I'm sure we'll do well. If you think the caravans are prickly, watch out for this axe-wielding alderman mentioned. How incredibly naive. I'm surprised you've lasted this long. You can be a real fucking asshole, but as I mentioned before in the character creation bit, as a paladin, I need to try to, remain semi-close to my order if I don't want to lose my zealotous bonuses. Plus, I want to roleplay my character like I would me. So, with that outlook, I'm sure you'll do well. Well, I suppose I'm just trying to do the right by my family. You have one rank in a disposition retribution. You have one rank in disposition reputation. These reputations represent how people perceive your personality through the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and a benign reputation often brings out the worst in certain people. No disposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity. But if your main character is a priest or paladin, you must be careful not to misalign these dispositions with what is favored by your deity and order respectively. For the main character only, their disposition will modify the effects of holy radiance for priests and faith and conviction for paladins.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Tell me about the Endrian Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Saris and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire. A fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravans. Why'd you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raed Saris? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
He shrugs. Drearwood is a former Adrian colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire the Redskins' work ethic, they always struck me as a little fanatical. Sounds reasonable enough. That's high-minded of you. Seems like you got the short end of the stick. That seems reasonable of you. Out here, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Well, let's see what you've got for sale. Swords allow you to trade and sell if you're around blah blah blah. Yeah. So we can check it. So we have 100 copper pieces. I'm pretty happy with the gear I started with. I tend to favor sword and board over two-handed weapons, which is what I begin with as a paladin from the cold regions where I originate from. But I'm pretty much okay. I can retrain characters at stores as well, which is kind of cool. But okay. I don't think there's nothing I can afford that I want, so I'll mostly just come back to him to sell some shit later on. One nice thing about swords will periodically replenish their inventory is part of what the thing was telling me. I'm going to quickly so I can change my difficulty at any time, but for now I'm pretty much okay. Is there anything I want to change in here as long as I'm just here real quick? Auto-level companions? No, I want to level my companions myself. Please and thank you. So, personality reputation. Display the effects of choosing each conversation option on the player's reputation and personality. So this would allow me to see exactly what my choices are doing, which for min-maxing purposes is really, really good, because if I'm playing a paladin or a priest, I want to be able to tell, oh, that's going to buff my, the areas I want to improve. But as a role player, I'll just try and play it, as is. And if I end up fucking myself over, I'm on story time. It's not like it's going to kill me. Provide a graphical display of blah blah. No, he made before death. Characters will be maimed instead of dying permanently the first time their health reaches 0. So this is, if I wanted to be like a crazy bastard, I could have it so my characters just die the moment they run out of health, which the game is kind of balanced for if you want to play in expert mode. But I'm going to stick with maimed before death. Maimed horribly fucks them up if they go down, but doesn't immediately kill them permanently forever. Unrestricted stash, you always want to have that on because the game's economy is actually balanced to just let you pick up everything. No knockout injuries. If said, party members will not receive knockout injuries when they are reduced to 0 endurance in combat. This is one thing that they added recently that I found out shortly before starting this LP, like an hour before, that I'm actually totally wanting to turn on, even though it makes the game harder. Because I just like the idea of, like, you get knocked down, you're actually, like, when you get back up again, you have an injury. You have an injury that will only heal after you've had a chance to properly rest. And since I'm turning on story time where I can have an infinite number of camping supplies, so I don't have to worry as much about backtracking in order to rest, whatever, knockout injuries will be fine. Show qualifiers, yeah. So if I can if a conversation thing is locked, this will show me what I need to unlock it. Show in-game tutorials. Yeah, I'll leave that on for now. Combat tooltips, sure. Detailed quest updates, yes, please. Do not auto-level. Show the reputation and personality. I'll leave that off because, as I said, I like it for role-playing reasons. Show relative defenses. Show unique interactions. Display conversation options for which the party does not meet the prerequisites. So yeah, okay. So this is show it even if I can't see it. This is show me that I can only see it because I have these certain things on, which is always kind of fun. Oh yeah, so auto pause features. These are really fucking useful. So character death. Yeah, if a character dies, I want the game to pause. If a character is damaged, I do not want to pause because you get damaged a lot. If they're below 25% endurance, I want to pause so I can, know when someone's about to go down. Well, in health, always auto pause so I know when someone's going to die permanently. So, if enemies are spotted, pause the game. If enemies are spotted, stop the party. I won't turn that on because if it's pausing anyway, I can do that on my own if I feel it's necessary. Do not pause. Some enemies are weapons are inefficient against. So like a skeleton is less effective against slashing weapons. So I can have it pause if I'm using a weapon that's not as good and switch to a better weapon if I have, that option. Not going to turn that on because that'd just be really slow, and I don't intend to be super, super smart about how I use my weapons appropriately because, again, lower difficulty. If I hit an enemy and find that they have extraordinary defense, pause, nope. Hidden object found? Yes, actually I do want to turn that on. So if I find a trap or a hidden object, the game will pause. This will prevent me from accidentally walking into traps that I just uncovered because I'm an idiot. I don't want to pause when they finish an ability. Do not want to stop when they hit. Character attacks, melee engage. You can have it like fucking pause for everything if you're playing on a harder difficulty. Okay. Oh, I can also have it automatically puts combat into a slow mode based on the number of active enemies. I'm going to turn that on because it basically means that if I'm like facing like 20 dudes and they also rushing me at once, the game will slow down so that I have more time to think and pause and make my actions rather than having to kind of like constantly mash spacebar to pause on pause, pause on pause, pause on pause. Okay, graphics, I'm fine with all these. Sound, this was the thing I wanted. So I'm going to crank up the master volume. I'm going to kind of have the music a teeny bit lower. I'm going to turn the effect volume down actually a fair bit because that's going to be what's really going to, drown me out. And I'll leave the voice volume on full because that's not inherently that loud. So hopefully this will be a little easier for people to hear. Yes, I want to save these changes, and I'd also like to save my game. I also apologize for all this time spent in menus, but I do want to do one more thing, and that is check my quick save and quick load. So F5 and F8. This will prevent me from having to pause the game every time I want to fucking load. So yeah, in Pillars of Eternity, killing monsters doesn't give you XP. Learning more about monsters by killing them and exploring new areas, that gives you XP.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Thank you, buddy. I'm gonna die if you don't give me some water. And you're gonna just sit around having a smoke before you go and get my fucking water for me. Asshole. You could probably just stop and get some water from right there, but I want to find these berries. Oh, is there... One more thing I want to check. I think there's a button for showing all the interactables. Game. Highlight interactables is tab. Okay. So, yep, see? Travelers, maybe, or looters, or bandits. Bad sign any way you figure it. A corpse is cold to the corpse is cold to the touch, and a ripe smell wafts. Luckily, I have it in the log down here. I actually need to bring it up that large. Lower, thank you. The corpse is cold to the touch, and a ripe smell wafts from it in putrid waves. A dark, crusted, blood-stained besmark is simple linen cloth. Bloodstains besmirch its simple wooden linen cloth. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, he's got lockpicks on him. I want more bodies. Probably not a good sign. So yeah, we already mentioned in the intro and through a number of bits in the character creation screen that the Glorfields, the slightly more primitive tribes people in this area, do not like outsiders, and we have been trespassing on their land and encroaching into their territory and spitting all over their sacred rocks for a while. In fact, right now, if I'm to look at the map, we are camping right in the middle of their sacred rocks. So chances are those people back there were murdered by the tribes people.
Not good.
And we're shitting all over their sacred stones. The footprints around the campfire are intact and may have been here for days or longer. Ooh, beer. Okay, I took the beer. I don't want you carrying my beer. That's main character beer.
Eh?
Oh, mushrooms. Alright, dry crap. Dry cap. Alright, you've gained an ingredient. Dry cap added to the stash. Okay. So it's still not what I'm looking for, though. So I'll go this way. Okay, apparently this is not the direction I was supposed to go in. So probably want to go here. This is a nice feature of Pillars of Eternity that was not in the older school games. You can speed up time and slow down time. So if you need to, cross an area quickly to get to another location, you can just speed up time and have it go a lot faster.
Let's check by those out.
Oh,
Croppins.
young wolf. All right, combat. It's an Infinity Engine game. I know how this works. Okay, I need to change those auto pause features. Apparently, character death, low endurance, low health, enemy spotted, hidden object found, combat start. Let's I think pausing when I spot the enemies is enough. I don't want to yeah. Okay. We blew the fuck out of that wolf. Also, because we're playing on the lower difficulty settings, I'm actually going to take off the slow auto speed. That's probably unnecessary. Yay, wolfy pelts. Oh, there's the berries.
This is it.
I love me some berries. Explorer. Oldman says you've had some interesting travels. So because I chose the Explorer background, I get this special little bit here. In the water parts of the world as a mariner. Oh yeah, so yeah, and this is actually kind of cool. I chose a different background in my first playthrough, and it actually gave me different options here as well. So I get to decide through dialogue, what type of character, what type of background exactly this explorer background is. So she's asking, as an explorer, you've had some interesting travel. So I can say, in the watery parts of the world as a mariner, saying that I travel on ships. I lived on the frontier for a time. Interesting might not be the word. I sailed with cold-blooded conquerors, if I want to be like a soldier in a brigand army. This isn't your business, if I want to just be an asshole. I'm going to say I lived on the frontier, so I lived out in the frozen wastes, Yeah? How is it you happened to come here? It was hard. It was a hard place to live. I was surrounded by death out there. It was too quiet a life. I was looking for something more. Raiders destroyed my home, took everything from me. This isn't your business. Well, again, I left to find greener pastures, so I was going to say it was a harsh place to live, and I was surrounded by death. There was nothing green and growing. You do what you can to survive. What else can someone be expected to do? Celestia breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redcliffe offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle, like the rest of the lot? It's a hard offer to pass up. No, I'm just passing through. I hadn't given much thought. I haven't really given it much thought. I mostly just wanted to come to a greener part of the world. No harm in that. Might as well see the place first. So, you must have some other plans in mind for coming this way. I hope to meet someone and fall in love. Probably the same thing I did before. Just looking for adventure, really. Get into trouble, I expect. I'm going to find some new friends. I have no idea what I'm going to do next. I want to find some friends. I've come here to meet people and to not be such a damn loner and to experience life in a place that isn't so goddamn cold and full of religious nut jobs. That may not be a bad idea. Surviving out here sometimes is less about what you know and more about who. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Oldmon will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Why are you here? Telling me about yourself? What can you tell me about Drywood? Alright. Why are you here? Celestia sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out, and that's what got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Ixalan, but I'll do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me. So I'm here and we'll see. Fuck off. Oldman, I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. Tell me about yourself. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Drywood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rulchen and another in a Dryer. My sister's in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. What can you tell me about Drywood? I'm not much of a historian, but from what I know, it used to be part of Edril, of the Edrian Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. Locals here are festive, and that's how they like it. Locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I'm hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister about it. Alright, let's head back to camp. I wouldn't hold my breath that Spearfield's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like it. We should check on him first, slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. A moment's respite. Find Spearfield. So he was right over here. Lazy bum took off. Oh, I can actually quickly talk to you, buddy.
Something else you need?
Yes, I'd
Looks
like
we're
to.
settled for the night.
Yes, I'd like to actually see what you've got. But more importantly, I'd like to sell you some shit I'm not going to use. Beer's actually apparently, if I'm remembering correctly, you actually use beer for a lot of stuff. Wait, why does my money go down? Oh no, I started with 100 and now I've got 268. So my money's gone up. I got money. Alright, where the hell do you go, buddy? Yeah,
Skins.
back.
Come on.
What a surprise! Everyone went hunting. Least you left the water skin. Come on. You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin to the cool water while Cadence waits nearby. Keeping watch as you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. You have gained an item quest full water skin out of your stash. Out of the trees emerges Spearfill, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness to his gait. His stride wobbly as he moves towards you with labored breaths.
Sparful, are you all right?
Sparfle's toes clench, catches on a rock, and he collapses forward into a heap, and a feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag.
Ambush!
Okay, we have to fight our way back to the camp. So these are some of the locals. Yeah, Glenfeld hunters. I don't know anything about them because I haven't really fought them before, but as we fight people, we'll fill out more information about them. Sometimes the weapon simply isn't well suited for the type of fighting you're doing. So yeah, so just from like this initial fight, we've already learned they have 44 deflect, and he's got 31 deflect. He's near death, and he's badly injured. So if I was a death godlike,
Let's go!
that would have been an even better position for me to be in.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Let's quickly grab our stuff first. I mean, their stuff. Their stuff is now our stuff, because we murdered them. Alright, now we better get back to camp, though, yeah, because this is probably not a good situation for us to be in. Oh, good, there's more of them. It's a hunter. But we're messing the shit out of him. Oh, balls. They murdered the shit out of our camp. Gunfront leader. All around you lies the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Celestia puts the back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stand above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them towering and severe with thick bearded tassels, with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holding a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hilden, that'd be the merchant, the last of your caravan left standing. Leader, lay down your arms, trespassers. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. When have you done this? I can use my lore wand. The ruins have not been sullied by our hands, men of Erglarnfell. We do not trespass, we merely wish to pass through. I don't know why they did this, but I didn't have anything to do with it. Want to be a cowardly bitch. Murderers, you'll pay for your each life. I think that's passion, alright. You will try and kill us either way. I'm going to try and be diplomatic about this. So I'm going to say, we didn't sully our things. You know, hey, we know about, why you're pissed off, but listen, look, we didn't defile your rocks. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them. They mean to kill us all. We are innocent in this. Will you not listen to reason? Might 14. Only a fool attacks a weak enemy while strong ones yet live. Perception 14. Requirements not met. Intelligence 13. Requirements not met. Resolve 15. Go ahead, kill him now. Do it. Rush the man before he can react. Judging by the string of the animal teeth around your neck, I'm guessing you are a worshipper of Gwathlin. If Gwathlin told you to stop protecting the ruins, would you? Put down your weapons very well. Let him go. Stay armed. If I put down weapons, we're all dead. Fuck, I'm using my athletics to try and bull rush him. Athletics 2. Your surprising speed catches the man off guard. He hurls Halden out of the way in hopes of buying himself time to defend your charge. And I now have him as part of my party. So, Halden's going to quickly turn around and hit him with a blinding strike. Meanwhile, she's a warrior, so she's going to run over and knock this guy down. And my paladin, April's going to charge forward. Okay, never mind. He's automatically knocked down. Oh, you're you're not dead. Now you're dead. The enemy lies splayed on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above. Forgive us! Barely audible beneath his choking sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back, and he closes them. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swirl, whipping around the camp. Electric and volatile, upending pots and rustling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to sweep beneath your skin, and where it pierces you, it feels as though it were rending you apart from within. Seated amongst the wagon wheel, amidst the howling maelstrom, across chest and bow, Oldman's body stirs, and with a great effort he raises his sagging head. His eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
Poor bastard. The last of his life to, tell us to get the hell out of here. Oh, he was a good guy. So this is that horrible spirit maelstrom that we heard about before. Straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands to the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With the last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourselves up onto the ledge. Halden trails behind, slowed by his injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rock on one of the fallen attackers who had been feigning death, lunges for Holden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Holden lashes out against the fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. Despite the winds from your position, you were to throw your weapon at the attacker, you would have a good chance of hitting the mark. Throw your weapon at the attacker, allow Holden to break free on his own. Or if I had 15 dexterity, I don't have that, but I remember from my last time playing the game, that is basically throwing a rock. Well, fuck it, a weapon is worth less than a human life. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Holden loose. Lurching to his feet, Holden clambers up the base of the rock as he nears the top. However, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch a hold of it, securing his other hand and pulling with waning strength, and it feels as though your arm will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Holden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonating in the swirling wind now. You feel the rock beneath your feet, and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. With each new gust, mazes the old stone before you, losing connection, unsettling balance. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. Loading the first dungeon. We are now entering a dungeon, and later we will be dealing with dragons.
Sure. Was that?
A Bewick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
Getting out that way, anyway. Let's get further inside.
Okay, so quickly look at our new party. Surprise, surprise, this is a temporary party. We're not going to be with these people forever. As is kind of an RPG tradition. Okay, so he is definitely a rogue. He is using 2 daggers as a fighting style. She is a warrior. She's using a one-hand weapon and a torch. And I'm, of course... Oh yeah, I threw away my... I was like, wait, where's my sword? That's right, I threw it away. Shit. Do I have any weapons? No, I do not. I am going to be running around weaponless for right now. Do have a water skin, though. That's fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to disable the tutorials for now. Alright, we have to escape the ruins. Lower level of ruins have been blocked by fallen rubble.
That should be far enough. But what now?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
What happened out there? Celestian shakes her head. Windstorm of a kind that you only get in Erglonfell. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. The Galfrin word is Bewick. To them, it's the gods' way of reaping the souls of the land that couldn't find their own way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours? Who attacked us? Gladfoth, those be the hut dwellers Oldman warned you about, looking to be fangs of Galdwin, who are the tweening of the lot. We got ruin to ruin. They go ruin to ruin, looking for fights with colonists. Poor Oldman. I think he half expected this once we lost the main road. The Glonfins said we trespassed on the ruins. Don't believe that. Oldman would never allow it. But as much as the Fangs are hotheads, Glaflin didn't attack without being provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or she glances down the passage beyond, or they're looting in here, or there's looters in here with us. That's not something we need right now. What about everyone else in our caravan? Says his lip pressed together and her chin trembles. Her voice is faint. The wheels got hold of them now. She looks up. Gods grant them better luck in the next lives. You don't seem too upset about this. No, fuck that. She seems extremely upset about this. Let's get going. I'm not gonna be that fucking heartless. It's my paladinly duty to help these people out of this situation. A trembling, sickly creature emerges from the darkness, clutching a spear. Knobbly elbows and thin ribs show its scaly flesh, but you recognize it as a Zuctrip. It watches you curiously, breathing in ragged sighs. Raise your arms and stand still. It's okay. I won't hurt you. I'll tear you to pieces, lizard! Slowly back away. It's okay. I won't hurt you. The Zemlin recoils, fingers wrapping tightly around its spear. The creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. The creature sniffs around you and finds something of interest. It steps back and resumes its defensive posture. Raise your arms and stand still. Slowly back away. Yeah, raise my arms and stand still. The creature cocks its head, approaching you, softly clicking. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's going to keep on sniffing me, but not come in here. So I either attack it or I back away. I'm going to back away. It watches us warily as we leave. I'm not gonna. It might be a monster, but I'm not going to go ahead and start bashing in the head of some poor innocent, monsterly creature just because it happens to be of a race that I don't
Someone else has been here. We should move.
have a high opinion of. Ooh, camping supplies and a mace. Excellent. And those are all the gear I need, so time to equip myself. And a shield. Let's see here. I'm also going to, how do I just dump all of this into my, is it shift click? Yeah, it's shift click. So I was going to dump everything that I'm not currently using into my bottomless chest. Normally I'd equip certain items to certain people, but because I know that I'm going to lose these people anyway, I'm not going to bother wasting perfectly good supplies on them. Also, I'm going to quick save real fast.
Look at the tiles. What are those symbols?
The runes of Keslis. No, 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 no! Do not step on that! Do not fucking step on that! Okay. I've narrowly escaped the strange and deadly winds that tore through the valley, but now I'm trapped in ancient ruins that the caravan master told us to stay clear of. I'll find a way through the ruins safely. I've come across a section of tiles marked with peculiar symbols. There may be a clue about their meaning nearby. Alright, I've definitely been recording for, like, over half an hour, which I want to try and keep these episodes relatively shorter, so I'm going to cut here, and I'll see you guys next time.